I'm currently running a class, and usually when I run a class or some sort of group program, especially these advanced entrepreneurial ones, I'm asking for a lot, and that's on purpose. Somebody asked a question last night and they said, or not a question, but they said, hey, like, I don't know how to navigate this because, you're asking us to do all of these tasks in this season, but I don't think that that's going to be sustainable for me after this 12 weeks is over. And my response was, okay, but if it's not sustainable for you after it's over, what does that have to do with you doing it right now? And I think a lot of people think this way. They think, well, if I can't sustain it forever and always, like in perpetuity, then it's not worth doing. And I just think that that is a mistake. It is a mistake to think about your life that way because life ebbs and flows. Nobody ever in the history of ever is doing the exact same thing at the exact same pace that they've been doing it since the beginning of when they started doing it, right? So for example, if you're training for a marathon, you train for the marathon. When the marathon is over, you give your legs a break, right? If you're training for the Olympics, you get to the Olympics, and then after the Olympics is over, you give yourself a break. Even if the break is only for a couple of weeks, you taper down a little bit. It's not, we're gonna hit the gas, we're gonna go 150 miles an hour forever and always, because that's not sustainable for anybody. So when you are in, let's say, a launch season, or when you are in a space where, you're trying to get things going, there's going to be a lot of gas given to the beginning of that. That's okay, right? But know that the gas that you're pushing and it can feel exhausting. And I think it's not even that it's exhausting in the moment. It's the thought of the fact that you may have to do this for years and years to come that sounds exhausting. So what I want to do is I want to free anybody from this idea that they think that they're going to have to do everything at the same pace, at the same speed, with the same energy and with the same intention forever. Because it doesn't, especially in business, it does not exist like that. There's an ebb, there's a flow, there's an up, there's a down, there's a hill, there's a valley, and we can navigate through any of those however we desire to. But my point is that you don't have to be afraid of what's going to happen or what you think you're going to have to do 6 months from now when you're not doing it right now. When you're because I think the whole idea of let's hit the gas at right in the beginning, pedal to the metal, is so that you can build up enough momentum that when you do ease up on the gas a little bit, you have inertia that's moving you forward. There is actual energy that's propelling you, and that energy that's propelling you isn't always your efforting, right? So I just thought that I would come on and share that because I wanted you to recognize that it isn't always, it's not always going to be this hard. It's not always going to be this difficult. It's not always going to be this time consuming. It's not always going to be this confusing. It's not always going to be this taxing on your body, on your mind, on your soul, on your spirit. There will be times where you'll get better. There are going to be times where you become more efficient. There are going to be times where you don't have to do anything at all because things are simply moving. And so I wanted to put that out there because I don't want anybody to think that, your whatever level of energy and intention you're putting into your projects in this season is going to always be the energy and intention. But what I do in these classes is I want you to learn how to show up at a high capacity when you're called to do it. Because if you learn the art of I know what to do when I'm supposed to do it, if you know that, then it doesn't matter when you have to do it. You have this historical data that says, oh, I know how to do this for myself. I know how to show up in this way. And that's really what I'm trying to teach. And that's really the most important. So I thought I would just make a quick video sharing that. Do with that what you will. I will talk to you soon.